Welcome to Tabletop Gaming Guild. Tabletop Gaming Guild is all about the experiences and memories of playing tabletop games with friends and families can curate. Today we're looking at Veiled Fate, published by Ivy Studios, and designed by Max Anderson, Zach Dixon, and Austin Harrison. In Veiled Fate, you are controlling a number of demigods, but you only really care about the success of one of them. You're going to be playing various fate cards to take actions and vote on consequences for these demigods to influence their reputation. At the beginning of the game, you'll be randomly given a demigod that you care about, and you want to keep this information secret. In higher player count games, you may also have an ally that also cares for this god, but you don't know who that is. You'll also be given 5 fate cards that will allow you to vote, and the first player will be assigned and given this token. You will start with the first city card revealed, 1 age card from each age, only the first one will be revealed, and quest cards according to the number of players. Check the rule books for how many to deal. Veiled Fate is broken down into 3 ages, and at the beginning of each age you will reveal a end of age effect. You do not do anything with these yet, they're just something you read and keep in mind for the end of the age, such as this card, which is Natural Order, which will trigger a vote at the end of the age to determine its effects. However, you can only participate in this vote if you save some voting cards. On a turn, each player gets 2 actions that can be used either for movement and or special abilities. When moving a demigod, you may either move to an adjacent region or into the city, or you may move that demigod onto a quest card if you're in the region for that quest or an adjacent region. And you must adhere to any placement restrictions on that quest card. Anytime you move a demigod onto a quest location, you must take a vote card and put it onto the vote space for that quest. If you spent all your fate cards in order to move on to that quest, you simply do not get to vote. These quests can also have 3 types of placement restrictions. Order restrictions, in which case you have to place the demigods in the specific order indicated, so in this case top down. They can have symbol restrictions, in which case each demigod has 1 of 3 symbols, so you can only place a matching demigod, or they can have color restrictions, so they can only have that specific demigod attached. There are also 3 areas with restrictions you need to note. First off is the quest cards that have placement restrictions, as I mentioned, but also once a demigod is on a quest card, they cannot have movement actions applied to them. Moving a demigod into the city causes the city token to go onto the city card. If the token's already there, it progresses 1 step forward and the player gets whatever bonus is noted. The last special area is the pool and the abyss. You cannot use a movement action to enter this area, and the regions on either side are considered adjacent to each other, so you can move directly from the coast to the mountain. If the demigod is in the abyss, you can use a movement action to move to the pool, and only the pool. From the pool, they can move to the city. And you get bonuses for that. Leaving the abyss gives you an extra fate card. Leaving the pool allows you to discard a fate card and draw a new one. And of course, when you leave the pool and enter the city, you activate the city event card. You can also spend an action to use your various god powers. All these god powers require you to spend fate cards, and they generally override certain rules, such as Portal allows you to spend 3 fate cards to move a demigod anywhere on the board, ignoring any movement or placement restrictions. Transfiguration allows you to swap 2 demigods on a quest, ignoring any placement restrictions. Spending 2 fate on Smite sends a demigod to the abyss. Anytime a demigod is smote, they are moved down to the last position within their scoring position. So they're not actually losing any renown, but being in the last position means they lose in tiebreakers. The first position always wins tiebreakers. If you spend 2 fate cards, you can trigger Omniscience, in which case you would take a card from the top of the deck, shuffle it into a quest pile, and then peek at the results, returning it back to that quest. You can spend one fate card to trigger influence that allows you to add an extra fate to a quest. However, this can only be done if your first action also causes you to add one fate to that quest. Once you've taken 2 actions, your turn ends and it goes to the next player. You can choose to only take 1 action and pass on your second action. And at any point, if you've not used 2 actions, you can choose to rest, in which case you are out for the rest of the age. First person to rest gets to take the first player token immediately. If at any point the player's action causes one of these quest cards to be completely filled, it would resolve immediately. To understand how the resolution occurs, let's break down this quest card. On the top of the quest card, you're going to have the quest's name, but below that you're going to have an icon that indicates either +2, +1, 0, or -1. If there's a +1, the person who triggered the quest picks a different player to add an extra fate to that quest. If it's +2, he must pick 2 different players. A -1 causes one to be randomly removed. It's important to note that you cannot choose yourself to add a vote, but you can choose somebody who has no fate cards left, and they would randomly choose one from the top of the deck, get to glance at it before adding it to the vote. Once you have this resolved, you would shuffle these fate cards, reveal one at a time. If you see a +2, you would add 2 from the deck into the vote, shuffle it, and then continue to reveal. Other votes can be either 1 or 2 feathers, or 1 or 2 scorpions. You would then total the feathers and scorpions and see which side prevailed. This will determine the effect for each position on the quest. There are 4 symbols to note on these quests. There's sickles that causes that demigod to lose renown, omega symbols that causes them to gain, these coin symbols that are split, which means you are going to flip a coin to determine which of the 2 possible results you get, as well as these eye symbols that causes that demigod to go into the abyss. After the quest is resolved, it is removed from the game, and the age ends if either all quests have been removed or every player has chosen to rest. Noting that players may be forced to rest if they have no more fate cards, but cannot choose to rest if they've taken both their actions this turn. Once the end of age is triggered, you would vote on the end of age effects. Generally, the voting starts with the person to the left of whoever's holding the first player token. So the first player gets a little bit more information by voting last and seeing how many cards people spent. However, you can only vote if you have cards remaining, so you may want to save them for this vote. Once the age is over, you would remove any remaining quest cards and replenish them, replace the age card, and get a new city card. At the end of the 3rd age, the game ends, everybody reveals the demigod they care about, and the player attached to the highest renown demigod wins, ignoring any demigods not attached to any players. Thank you again for watching. Please join us again on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and other social medias. And please don't forget to like and subscribe.